The truth is, Fitz doesn't even like walks. And for a long time, I thought that meant I was failing him. Welcome to Straight Up Dog Talk. I'm Em, and this is one of our solo episodes where it's just you and me and a whole lot of honest conversation about what life with dogs is really like. Kind of dogs who are big feelings, misunderstood, and just not into everything that people on the internet think they should be. Today, we're going to talk about something that used to bring me so much guilt. So much guilt. Walks. The daily walk argument. The pressure to take your dog on a daily walk is real. It's really real. So if you've ever skipped a walk or you've pushed your dog through a walk when they clearly weren't vibing with it, then this episode is for you. I used to believe that taking Fitz on a walk every day because we didn't have a yard was the right thing to do, was the best thing for him, because that's what responsible dog parents do in order to exercise their dogs when they don't have a yard. Right? No, not right. Not for us, at least. And maybe not for you. But the thing is, Fitz didn't even like walks. He would freeze. He would hide. He would try to get underneath cars. He would drag me back to the apartment complex. And it was a constant struggle between the two of us. His body language told me every single time that he was not having fun. And I was trying to push him through it because I thought I had to. So when I finally stopped and asked myself, who is this actually helping? The answer was neither of us. It wasn't helping me because I was stressed out and legitimately trying to force my dog to do something that I knew that he didn't want to be doing. So it wasn't helping him because I was just stressing him out, which was stressing me out, which just caused a whole bunch of inner turmoil and discomfort for both of us. So that's when we stopped going on long walks. Because up to this point, I had been missing the whole point. What did he need? Not what do I think we should do? Not what does everyone else think we should do? But what does he need? What would make him happy? What would make him fulfilled? And what would bring that crazy energy level down? It certainly wasn't walks, because when we would get home, he'd be even crazier than he was when we left because he was so amped up from being stressed out. It was just pouring over into the situation every time we got home. So now you're probably saying, wait a second, but I thought that dogs needed to go on walks. And you're not wrong. Some dogs thrive on daily walks, but others, not so much. Dogs who are reactive, anxious, get overstimulated easily, are recovering from a traumatic event, who experience stress easily, may find walks to be too much. And overstimulation definitely does not mean calm. And I learned that the hard way. So what do dogs actually need? Predictability, emotional safety, mental engagement, trust, and time to decompress. But what does all that mean, and what should you do instead? I'm going to tell you. Since we quit going on daily walks and started focusing on other things, skills, comfort levels, decompression, habituation, Fitz has made more progress and had more fun and gotten more value out of his life than he ever did with daily walks. Does that mean that walks won't ever be right for us again? No. We're definitely working up towards being able to go on bigger adventures. especially if we're going to do things like live RV life, because we're going to have to be able to do things like go on hikes and stay in specific areas and potentially be around people again, which is why we have done the things that we have done to build up our trust, our relationship, and our confidence in new situations. And let me tell you what, he is thriving. He's doing such a magnificent job, and I can see that he is so much more relaxed and so much more calm in these situations. So instead of dragging him through the neighborhood, this is what we do instead. First and foremost, backyard decompression time. No leash, no stress, no pressure, no structure, just quality sniffing time and lots of treats. This also includes find it games. Handful of food. Find it. This gives him the opportunity to sniff and explore at his pace and make decisions about how he wants to interact with the world around him while he's eating. Because if you didn't know this, dogs are emotional eaters. And when they eat, it brings their mental anxiety, overstimulation, angst, all of those things down. It helps them decompress. And that's exactly what Fitz needed. Focus on me and not be so stressed out about what was happening around him. And by using his meal in the yard, it gave him the opportunity to explore and learn about the scents and sounds around him while enjoying a snack. And who doesn't love that? The magic treat mat. I'm sure that some of you have heard us talk about the magic treat mat before. We have a placemat on our back porch, and it's called the magic treat mat because Toby thinks that's where you go to magically make treats appear. And it's only because he's a creeper and he sits inside the door and watches us work on the placemat. Training mat can be used on the porch, in the yard, and we can play games. We can do tricks. We can have tiny structured training sessions, or we can just hang out together in the yard or on the porch on the mat. It doesn't have to be anything significant. It just has to be special. And again, it's the magic mat because that's where treats appear, right? So after Fitz is released, Toby will enter to the porch and immediately go to the mat and sit on it because, duh, that's where the treats come from. Never have I had a smarter dog in the whole wide world than Toby when it comes to figuring out how to finagle me into treats. Hi. Hi. Oh my goodness. Are you coming up here? Okay. You're coming up here. I guess this is going to join us for a little bit. Another thing that we do is work on short laps in the yard. First, we started in the backyard, and then we worked in the driveway, and now we're working in the front yard. And this just looks like me putting his leash on him, his harness and leash on him, and exploring the yard with the same things that we were doing in the backyard without the leash. Treat scatters, little snacks for coming and going and paying attention to what's happening with me, and practicing our leash skills, practicing turns, practicing our back pedal and our side shuffle, and navigating through the yard together. Again, this can be in the front yard or the backyard when your dog is ready for it. We didn't go into the front yard for quite a while. We worked in the backyard for a long time, just getting him used to being on the leash again and not freaking out every time that I put it on him because it didn't mean we were going somewhere and doing something. It takes the pressure off of the situation and gives you the ability to help your dog baby step through these skills and get used to operating in the leash and harness again. And of course, we have our other favorite activities, which are our swift paws, our ball time, and our agility course. I understand not everybody has the ability to play out in their yard the way that we do. We didn't have that ability for almost the first 2 years of his life, which is how I got trapped in the dog park world, which again made things worse for us. But you can set up agility courses in your house. You can teach your dog scent games. You can do tricks and play games. There's so much you can do inside of a small space that you wouldn't even believe. It just takes a little bit of creativity. So if walks feel like a nightmare and your dog is coming home way more wired than they were when you left, your dog's not broken, and neither are you. There are other ways to connect, build confidence, and meet your dog's needs without even leaving your apartment, your front stoop, or even the driveway. You are allowed to choose what works best for your dog. You're allowed to not go on that walk today. And your dog is still loved, still fulfilled, and still doing the best that they can. And that is all that matters. So if you needed someone to tell you that you can skip the walks, this is it. Here I am telling you, skip the walk. If it brings you joy, if it brings your dog joy, skip the walk. If your dog struggles on walks, or if you're working through reactivity or just big feelings in general, or maybe you just don't have the emotional bandwidth today, it is 100% okay to pause. There are so many other ways to support your dog without white knuckling it through the entire neighborhood. And the more we talk about that, the more we normalize doing what's right for the dog in front of us and not just what everyone on the internet expects us to do. We can't make meaningful change for our big feeling dogs without putting ourselves out there and learning and growing with them. If this episode gave you a little peace or made you feel even the tiniest bit more seen, I'd love it if you'd share it with someone else who needs that feeling too. Thanks for being here for this solo episode of Straight Up Dog Talk, and I will see you on the next episode.